allow the two children to have the budget every year.
It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay.
She
Off your mind.
like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my egun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. My egun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. My egun don't come, oh yo yo. Man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego la wa mo do do. My ego diary, my ego number one. Ayégun làwa mọ̀ làwọn tó dòdòdò. Ayégun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Ayégun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Ayégun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Ayégun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Máyégún já wa sí. Ayégun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Máyégún diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Máyégún máa wí. Máyégún diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Máyégún diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Máyégún diary politico. Máyégún diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Máyégún. Máyégún diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Máyégún diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Àní Máyégún làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Máyégún diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Máyégún ti dé. àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bíjó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Máyégún máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Today. Hello there. So good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. This is Maiduguri Live. Thank you for joining me, brethren, and welcome to the Temple of Truth. Everyone, please, as you are joining, right, before you kind of settle down, read the caption of the broadcast, the description of the broadcast, like it, share it, invite your friends, and your not so friendly friends. Just tell them that Maiduguri today and leave the rest to me. So if you have done that already, I will say a big thank you to you as always. So tonight, we will be dealing with the latest stunt from the stable of from the stable of Koolu and the agenda of the Ronukus in which you should be aware of. But before I delve fully into it, before we get down for real, for the sake of the innocent, because we do have innocent people who have no idea the mountain of demons that they are actually dealing with, or how sort of like evil and formidable, right, this group of career criminals that they are dealing with. So somehow, innocently, they still feel like they could be given a benefit of the doubt. You do have, I don't know, maybe I should give us the idea of, or the categorization of the Nigerians who have either intentionally enabled these rogues, others who have ignorantly enabled these rogues, then another set who have innocently enabled these rogues, and then of course those of us who have seen the light and we are now called the rebels, the ones who are calling for an end to this madness. So because of the innocent ones now, all right, I don't know what you know about Nigeria, and I don't know how long or how recent you have started following Maiduguri, in order for you to understand that here is not a place where we advocate for any form of toxicity. Therefore, you can say, oh, they are just negative people. At least this, because that's some of your line. I'm talking to the innocent ones now. I'm not talking to those of you who are deliberately, obtuse and intentionally, right, enabling these rogues. You know what you are doing. So I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to this innocent one. There may not be many in this audience, okay? But it's important that we sort of clear that. What we do on Maiduguri's Diary Political, in a very simpler sort of like explanation, is politics is not a game. Politics is not Arsenal versus Manchester United. Politics is a game of, it's actually like a life and death form of like a decision. So when you now see those who play politics, they are called politicians. Now, when you allow criminal politicians to be in charge of your politics, forming governments in your system, they have succeeded. In the case of Nigeria, they've succeeded in building and sustaining, right, a corrupt system that has now become like a threat to the life of everyone, including yours. They personally think, oh, maybe this place, they are just negative. They don't see anything good about Nigeria. No, don't get it wrong. What we do here is, for every one of you who have your reasons why you support those of them that you defend, and those of you who have reasons why you oppose everything about that place, right? On Mayegun's Diary Political, this is where you are going to get the clarity, so that you will understand the importance of politics and how much of your political system have been hijacked by criminals. And the only thing they can, of course, offer you, right, is what you are currently being offered. Being offered. Incompetent, corrupt set of leadership. Now, when you now understand the importance of politics, and then you begin to scrutinize the characters of your politicians, now you are going to win two things, okay? Number one, you are going to stop lying to yourself or blame yourself or look for who to blame for why Nigeria is not working. You're going to see them in picture. Number two, you are also going to understand how their actions and their inactions actually affects you, whether you are living in Nigeria or you are living outside Nigeria. Mayegun's Diary Political makes you understand, right, the people behind the rot, what they are doing, and how what they are doing affects you. Now, whether you are supporting them or you are not supporting them, everybody is a victim. So you just need to understand how this affects you. Now, the moment you understand, the first thing you are going to clear up your mind is that Nigeria can be saved, not by these characters, but if Nigeria is to be saved, or let me say those who are inside Nigeria to be saved, everything you don't understand that is wrong, right? And you want to correct them, you are going to end up on our side. Those of us who used to be pro-Nigeria too, those of us who felt like, no matter what the system is, get involved, be involved in it. You know what? Stop complaining. You get yourself in. You need to be inside, blah, 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 blah. But they have built a sustained system, right, that will rather turn you into them. So we decided that there is a solution that has never been tried before. After knowing what you know and knowing the people behind all of this. So if you are given an option to continue to push one Nigeria in this entire chaos, when some of you want Nigeria to work, like there are some of you innocently who actually want Nigeria to work. Everybody will tell you that they want Nigeria to work, but it's not everybody that wants it to work. So what is going on in Nigeria right now is intentional. It is deliberate. It is systemic. You understand now? So as many of you are saying you are innocently wanting Nigeria to work. So the moment you understand that it is by design, that it is like this, and these are the people behind it, then you are going to agree with us that the entire system should go. Because once the entire system that continues to produce these rogues is no longer in existence, right, there will be nothing, number one, to continue to produce them or to sustain them anymore, right? So they will fizzle out. Then you can now put in place a system that is people-oriented, the ones that everybody actually agrees to. That's just the message. So when we see them lie, for example, when they lie about something like electricity, which they have lied again and again and again, and it is the same way. They come with, oh, don't worry, it's going to be different this time around. In fact, we have roadmap to 24 hours electricity, blah, 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 blah. And at the end of the day, they give you darkness. Nobody is held responsible. All the stolen money, nobody is held responsible. So he plays himself again and again, and you get the same result again and again and again. Because some of you still wishes to give them benefit of the doubt. Because the only available solution is too extreme. Well, our people will die. That thing that you are talking, Oh, my easy. See, people will die. But people are dying now. Not with any single acknowledgement. People are pretending that since they are not dead yet, or any member of their family is not a victim yet, maybe it's not that bad. Maybe all these guys, it's just because they don't like Nigeria. I don't know why they hate their country. People used to say that to me. I don't know why you just don't say anything good about your country. It's not me. It's the action of these roads. When they tell you that they are demarketing by Nigeria, what they are practically saying is that those who are giving them loans, all those criminally put together or criminally put together, conditions that continue to impoverish millions of people. It's projected. So you can't lie to change bad thing to good. That is the point. If Thiefnubu, for example, on record, like with evidence, that in the last 2 years, they have started not refurbish all this fraud they are doing with your refinery, but they have started the construction of this source of energy, that source of energy, and it will be completed in 2025. 2028. And everybody looks at that entire project and are like, man, this one makes sense. So when they finish it, they will be able to generate more than 20,000 megawatts. Something that that once it is done, the impact is going to be felt so massively. Do you understand? There's no amount of I don't like him that will change that if he's doing something like that. They lied to you about student loan. They lied to you about local government autonomy. They lied to what other lie have they not told you? They lied to you that they have defeated Boko Haram or defeated these terrorists when they have not. I mean, you can see the recent developments, the latest development. The economy that everyone is actually feeling the brunt of. These guys around Thiefnubu continue to push lies. Now, their latest one is this IMF World Bank lie. Why do they need to lie? Why do they have to lie? Because they've got nothing concrete, nothing life-changing in their policy that you can say, give time, which is what they are telling you. Nothing. World Bank said, with what you have in Nigeria, accurately predicted or projected any. With the situation you have in that contraption, unable to actually grow your own food, store your own food, insecurity left, right, and center, with with this systemic corruption, and all of that is so endemic, by the way. More of you are going to fall into poverty. Do you even need a soothsayer to tell you that? So Thiefnubu and his gang, they said they are cultivating 1 million acre of farm in northern Nigeria to boost food production in Nigeria. Up to this moment, we don't see blood, we don't see water. Areje, Aromiara. They've said this since November 2023. This is May 1st, 2025. So you see, when they keep rolling out this, like it won't change anything per se. Right? So they came out with a lie. And then people bust them. And what was that lie? In 2015, Nigeria economy and the rate at which it was growing, right, was actually rated the third fastest growing economies. Sorry. In fact, it was rated the third fastest growing economy in the world. They rated Nigeria with China. Nigeria was growing annually at the rate of 7.5%. That was massive. It wasn't totally effective. But at least all of you can look back today and say, man, now you understand that now statistics you go chop. For real, now statistics everybody go chop, because statistics is very stubborn. Very stubborn. You don't feel change jam. You don't feel like for jam or anything. No. People will feel it. Do you understand? You can't fake it. So Thiefnubu and his gang, starting with Buhari, they took Nigeria economy from the third fastest growing economy in the world 10 years ago to 37th growing economy in the world, projected to have 3% annual growth. That may never happen. And if it does by any means happen, right, you will of course know where the wealth and whose hands the wealth will end up in, right? Koolu and his gang. But why would you go and edit? Like they designed the graph. They now put Nigeria in number 4. Yeah? They put Nigeria in number 4. Meanwhile, the original, what do you call it? The original projection by IMF for all countries, or all countries in the world, including the West, last night now appeared on their website. You understand? So which means everyone now have that projection. Indeed, they put it there like 3%, of course. But the 3%, by their rating, and other countries who are also rated in 3%, 4%, 5% like that. Yeah? Nigeria is in number 37. So why would you go and edit that? Because they needed to push and tell people that, I don't know, I think I've said that many times on this platform, and I will continue to remind you that they will feed you with propaganda so much that sometimes some of you would have to ask yourself and say, wait, are this guy talking about this Nigeria, the one that I'm inside right now, or another Nigeria? Because they will be describing a Nigeria that only exists in the imagination of the Ronukus, while everyone is subjected, right, to the consequences of this terrible, incompetent, corrupt, illegitimate regime. Everyone, nobody is spared. You know that already. Everyone. And like Akim Baba Ahmed put it, right? He said, the way these guys actually go about pushing and forcing their lies to try to make people believe them is so outstanding, like astounding that, it's unbelievable. This is a guy that was also given an appointment to help continue to tell everybody that everything is fine because they are working hard. He saw through them, dropped his own resignation letter, and he's here giving us an idea of what you are dealing with. It doesn't seem like everybody is listening.
He had a handful of advisors that then had to fix a problem. They started looking for solutions because from day one, he pushed the country to the deep end. And we've never really recovered in a way. We keep seeing promises. And the difference between what President Tinubu's people say the country is, and the difference between that and what the country is today is miles apart. And you have to, I've said somewhere else, you have to wonder whether we are living in the same Nigeria. I think that the issue is, should one have committed to working for a government that had at least the mandate of the people to fix things, particularly in the northern part of the country? It's unbelievable, the levels of insecurity and poverty. It's unbelievable.
Is it worse than the Tinubu government met it?
It's worse than Buhari left it.
I mean, Buhari government, sorry.
It's worse.
Really? But the statistics and the data don't say it.
This is the thing with the statistics that the administration keeps reeling out. And you really wonder where they get the statistics from. You go to villages, go to Katsina, go to Zamfara, go to Niger State, go to Plateau, go to Benue, go to virtually all, in fact, literally, go to every part of Nigeria. More blood is shed now than it was maybe 2 years ago. And yet you see this kind of these statistics that says, there are less killings, there are less violence. And you have to ask, do our leaders actually know how our people live? Do they know who's telling them all this? How do these statistics get acquired? Because if you want to really measure how people live, you don't do that by just some statistics that someone gives you. Do the president's people really tell him the state of the country? Does he know? Does he know the level of poverty? Does he know how many families, entire families
but
live
the
without
Thiefnubu
feeding?
personality that we know, this was the man who was governor of Lagos State and he was on the street himself. Is it more than, is it?
Love repeating that, what do you call it? They love repeating that nonsense. This was a man that was governor. I mean, in fairness to him, right? He's a crook. He's a criminal, no doubt, right? Age is not on his side. He's sick, not well. So just like Bukwari, apart from him trying to want to possibly fulfill his lifetime dream, right? To say, man, I can be president now, and he's president. To him, that's enough. You see all this money, all these billions, all these trillions that you are hearing, right? And those who are taking advantage of that, right? They are willing and ready to do boy, massage his ego, make him feel royal and the rest of that while they make the country. I don't believe like all these guys who are looting Nigeria or those who looted Nigeria under Bukwari, that they had to like give a cut, like, you know, like give a cut to him. I don't think so. It's just about the fantasy of say I can be president, kind of. It's not about the service, it's not about the governance, it's not about that. And as for those who are chancers, those ones he appointed as, you know, his ass lickers, praise singers, that's the easiest job to do. As long as they would have access to the national purse, the commonwealth of the country, and they can have something for themselves. Just to tell Thiefnubu that he's the best, that's the easiest thing to do. So don't forget that, like, he's not Thiefnubu of 25 years ago. Here you get. Like I said, he is a criminal, he is a crook, evidence day. Well, he's old now, senile, maybe partly demented. But, you know, he's still kind of like have or retain most part of his criminal gene, kind of. But he's not a young person anymore. His fake age says he's going to be 74, I mean. Is it 74? His original age, if they do his DNA, like if they do DNA to his bone and the rest of that, it's likely going to be maybe 81 or 82. But again, it is Nigeria and the criminals, they are in charge. If you do not agree, well, maybe you should find another country or make una go group on ourselves, can't remove him. That's pretty much another one right now. Like, and that's, I actually sense that is an act of luring you into participating in that charade. The moment you participate in the charade, that means you have validated it. You can no longer turn back and say you are rigged out. So if you are going to go into any election with a Thiefnubu, as he is consolidating his hold on power, then you must have plan B. Yeah. You know, the plan B then would be when you participate in a rigged system and you get rigged, what are you going to do? Because that's what this is all about. Because they're going to say, okay, what are you going to do? If you are making noise and this bragging on social media. So there should be a time that you should be able to say, okay, you know what? You're going to see what we're going to do now, like what we are going to do. It's going to be somebody like a Koolu, right? This whole thing could be just like noise. So now they are pushing. They say they want to criminalize fake news. You know, they say God. What we call it, God is merciful. Criminals who have PhD in falsehood, propaganda, lies, gaslighting, blackmails, and name it. They say they want to criminalize fake news. The irony. I can give you lists, and you can help me too. Let me put on my comment. Please help me. Because you see, as criminally as they are, as crooked as they are, we can all agree that if indeed there is law in Nigeria, number one, 90% of those parading themselves as your politicians, political office holder, past and present, 90% of them should actually be standing trial for, or should be standing trial for treason, okay? And after that, when convicted, they should be sentenced to death. And for mercy, maybe you can just give them life sentence, but you're going to be feeding them. So I would say sentence all of them to death. The remaining 10%, maybe 9% of those ones, send them also to maybe range of jail terms. I'm saying this because if to say there is law in Nigeria, majority of them would rather not get closer to politics that will expose them. Or if they did, they would probably be in jail or on the run right now, if you have laws. So let's now assume that they want to make laws to criminalize fake news. Don't you think, right, that the first week of that law, there's a chance that 30 to 40% of those who are working for Thiefnubu will be arrested and jailed? Okay, I'll give you some instances and you two can help me. Fake news. Oh, breaking news. Supreme Court of Nigeria just ruled that Thiefnubu's case of local government autonomy without constitutional amendment, right, has been approved. Therefore, local government allocations will now be paid to the local government areas. Oh, that's a great news, but it's fake news. Because the news was last year, February 2024. That was when the Supreme Court judgment came. Up to this moment, Shengbang is not paid to anybody. So it's fake news, right? All the Nigerian roads, right, that needed to be rehabilitated or rebuilt will be completed by the 25th of December 2024. Devulumai. This is May 2025. More than 90% of Nigeria's roads are not motorable, death traps. That's on them. That's fake news. Yeah? Okay. Thiefnubu and his gang, they are going to cut down their salaries to to implement Orosaye's report. Orosaye's report was that Nigeria shouldn't have 46 ministers. Cut them down to just maybe 18 or so. Reduce cost, cut that cost, reduce this cost. You know what I mean? So breaking news, Thiefnubu's regime have decided to implement Orosaye's report. Lies. And in the same breath, Thiefnubu's ministers, they have now become the biggest and the largest cabinet ever in Nigeria history, ever. Thiefnubu have nearly 50 ministers. And those ministers have their own PAs, SSs, SSs, PAs to PAs, and the rest of that. So, fake news. Nigerians are now enjoying 22 hours of electricity a day since Thiefnubu came to power. That is not true. That is fake news. Nigeria economy is now getting better because more and more investors are now coming into Nigeria. That is fake news because it's not real. The price of food and blah, blah, blah are now coming down in the market. This one affects you. Fake news. Port Harcourt refinery, Warri refinery, active again. Congratulations. Fake news. Fake news. Thiefnubu was going to France on a working visit, 2 weeks working visit. It is fake news. It is a lie. Because that's not why he is in France. But it's like, you know, the, what do you call it? One rule for me, one rule for thee, which is the operational modus operandi of APC. So when Ona-Ofun-Nuga said they should criminalize fake news, that is like saying it is time for all of you to hold us responsible and possibly jail us. But unfortunately, it's not for them. In 2024 alone, Nigeria police, they kidnapped 715 Nigerians simply because of what they posted on social media. 715. Out of that 715 Nigerians, you know, picked up and arraigned for cyberbullying, cybercrime acts in 2024 alone. More than 400 of them, they were because of what they said about the politicians in Nigeria. 280 or so of them were because of what they said about pastors. Others are just the other money misroad, dog eat dog, like Nigerians who have money. So police picked a lot of people up using an archaic colonial time draconian law called cyberbullying to lock Nigerians up. This is 2025. Possibly if you begin to take the number again, like if you begin to count it again, it's probably more than that right now. Because it's going to get worse. Now that they are planning to criminalize what they call fake news, who decide when the news is fake? Them or us? Of course, them. When they say it is not fake news, when they reject the truth, all they have to say is fake news and then, you know, latch on it. So it is a clown world, you know. Last night, because they are, I mean, there's something they say they call majoring the minor and minoring the major, right? Where your priority is work. You know, you set your priority. Abi, to pick your you know, your actions based on your priorities. So you set your priorities right. In Nigeria, there is always misplaced priority. The entire system, or supposedly the security system in that rigged system, they don't think they hold the citizens any constitutional responsibility to keep them safe, even keep them safe away from these rogues that are abusing their power. Now the people are left in the, you know, in the hands of these marauding terrorists who are now hunting them like game. So the corruption, the incompetence is so deep, so deep that it has become institutionalized. I mean, it's like a pandemic that spread and affected every fabric of what was supposed to be a country. System makes a country, and the people makes the system. And this is what they have made for you. Like they say, as you lay your bed, so you lie on it, kind of. The Nigeria military, right? Renowned for their peacekeeping missions across Africa, or, you know, and then around the world. And the same Nigerian military is the one that has been locked down by different kinds of terrorists simply because you have allowed terrorist sympathizers, terrorist sponsors to hijack governments in a supposed biggest black nation on earth. That is a generational mistake, I promise you. So last night, you see the people around Giwa Barracks had to pick race when they started hearing explosions from the barracks. You see, initially when this happened, the first impression then was that the Boko Haram were attacking the barracks. Now, Giwa Barracks is a very popular barracks in the Maiduguri, from all I gathered. And it's also very much like essential and central to Nigeria's defense, because it actually houses or stores, substantial kind of like amount of Nigeria weaponry. And since Nigeria has been fighting these insurgents in the northeast, northwest, and of course now north central, so the Giwa Barracks, right, is considered as a launch pad for the military activities in the northeast. Is very, very essential. It's like it's very, very important. Somehow, right, two things happened. Now, the first thing that didn't happen is that it wasn't a terrorist attack. And you might say, oh, that's fair. But at the same time, you begin to piece some of this whole thing together. And you begin to say, man, if Nigeria was a country, they were supposed to launch an independent investigation, because this is a direct attack on supposed Nigeria defense. Okay, here are the two things that we believe happened and can still be considered an act of terrorism. So let me give you these two sort of like scenarios that we projected happened. So the first one was that since Nigeria, because number one, we have seen the increased, I'm talking about rapid increase in the attacks coordinated or carried out specifically by Boko Haram, who have claimed responsibility. We also have an intelligence report that is public anyway. And I kind of find it credible, when you begin to follow up the sequence of events as they are beginning to happen, right? You piece them together, you're like, okay, it makes sense, because they have told us an intel of this supposed ragtag Boko Haram terrorists regrouping in northeast of Nigeria. They are not just regrouping. They also have areas where mineral resources that they kind of like control to fund their activities. And don't forget, right, the decimation of Boko Haram, or that seems to have lasted a while, started when these Boko Haram guys, right, had a breakup kind of among themselves after Alhaji Shekau died. Alhaji Shekau himself was not killed by Nigeria. It was because when the rivalry started, they broke up. Rivalry began. I mean, like they were those called ISWAP, and they were Boko Haram, loyal to Alhaji Shekau. So regularly, they were always clashing in that Lake Chad basin, or the other border area, right? So it was one of the occasions of the exchanges that Alhaji Shekau collected and deceased. And since then, it's always been the rivalry attacks. The Nigerian army, right, are always looking forward to the time that these clashes will happen, because whenever it happened, right, on both sides, you'll be counting hundreds of bodies. For real, it has happened more than 5 times already in the last 3 years at least, where they clashed, decimate themselves, right? So, in what now seem to be a turn of events, they tend to be finding themselves back together, planting IED here and there. So, and then maybe now that they have the force, why would the armory, where they keep explosives in Maiduguri, suddenly go up, kaboom? And the excuse given was that the weather was too hot. Now, that is so easy You know, that explanation is like so easy. Very, very like ordinary. Because Baba, nobody say they go just build soak away. And then they will say, yeah, go and bring this Russian-made bomb, American-made bomb, and go and store them inside anywhere. Or maybe you put, explosives, right? And you put them on the shelf like that inside one room. That's not how storage of ammunitions work. I'm talking about, there are areas whereby they will say they will build coolant that will be cooling off that ammunition, those weapons, right? Forever, like 24/7, like forever. Because they cannot make a mistake of letting them not have that cool sort of like environment. Wala mashele. So all it's going to take is just for somebody to sabotage that, don't you think? You don't need to come and drop any bomb inside. Borno State, Zulum of Borno brags all the time how he has managed to free over 300,000 repentant terrorists. And somehow, these terrorists didn't give any intel. Information on how to end the terrorism, over 300,000, were sent back into the communities. Many of them went back straight to fighting. They are jihad. So now, they are regrouping. That's the point. So if they are regrouping, means to just, we don't need to carry gun or anything, just sabotage it, turn the coolant off, and give it a week. Everything will go up, don't worry. It's as simple as that, don't you think? Then what happened to these gunshots? Because there were sporadic gunshots heard from the barracks just around the same time. Yeah? Let me show you when people were running away. So I have to have that sound so that the effect of the boom will not make YouTube say we should delete the video and cut that part off. So I've learned so much in the last few years enough to know that the message can still be passed. And here is what one guy who I think is the spokesperson for the Nigerian army had to say about the incident. The reason, of course, it is because of the weather. It's because it's too warm. So an idiot will be like, oh yeah, it's true. Weather, northern Nigerian weather, it's very hot. Especially this time of the year. It's very hot. That's what a stupid person will say. And those kind of stupid people are in their millions. The Aronukus, the Agbadorians. So APC didn't, they don't even have to do much. All they have to do is just say it. The stupid one would. So, like I said, the facility to store, when you are building a barrack, right? The facility to store such very powerful, sensitive ammunitions, they are not just building a block of classroom, building a block of rooms, and then storing them inside like you store Gary or the same way you store cutlass, or maybe the same way you store guns. No, it's not. So this guy said it is because of the weather.
Esteemed members of the Fourth Realm of Estates, ladies and gentlemen, I am Major General A.E. Abubakar, the Theatre Commander, Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinkai. At approximately 23:30 hours on April 30th this year, a significant explosion occurred at one of our ammunition storage facilities situated within Giwa Barracks. These incidents caused widespread panic among the local populace. The explosion was due to the intense heat currently prevailing in Borno as well as other regions of the country, which had a direct impact on our storage facility. Fortunately, the situation was swiftly brought under control through the collaborative efforts of military firefighters, the Federal Fire Service, as well as the Borno State Fire Service Departments and various firefighting vehicles from security agencies. Civilians in the immediate vicinity were also relocated to prevent any harm to the public. Furthermore, the Air Component Command Operation Hadinkai and the Nigerian Army Unmanned Aerial Vehicle Command conducted aerial surveillance over the incident scene and the surrounding areas of Maiduguri metropolis. These allowed them to determine the extent of the explosion and guide rescue efforts. Additionally, troops from Operation Hadinkai were strategically deployed to prevent any potential misuse of the situation by criminals and to safeguard law-abiding citizens. The Chief Executive Officer of the state was immediately informed, and all established protocols in emergencies like this strictly adhered to. Going forward, we will be conducting a comprehensive review of all storage facilities in order to mitigate the effects of the current high temperatures being experienced. It is instructive to also state that no lives were lost nor injuries reported. Operation Hadinkai remains a people-centric operation with the primary focus of protecting the lives and property of our dear citizens.
Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele.
That's their defense. Intense heat. Intense heat in 2025. Oh, we'll just live on like saying an intense heat. Operation Dakin Ladi. Did they know much about the people of Benue State again who are already packing and leaving their communities because they heard that the Fulani terrorists are coming to their community? That's another set of terrorists, by the way. So begin to list all the type of terror, all the kind of terrorists that are operating in Nigeria and very, very active. Baba, you will understand why at the end of your pledge, they put it there that so help me God. And then you will understand that it's only God. They will say it's only God that can help you right now. Because the rogues who are supposed to help you are busy cooking up destructive lies, while the main problem is left unattended. In an area, in an area called Oguogo, in what do you call this place? Sunsuka, Opium-Suka Express. Yeah, Opium-Suka Express Road. Here is the recent kidnapper scene captured on camera. It's always aftermath anyway. And then those who manage to escape and slip off from the grab, also from the group of their abductors in Enugu State.
Okay, wait, go back. Wait first. Go to now that motor now you don't collect people from there. Around that bush. You will not get up. Go facing back, more they watch.
Now mobile is there. Hey, this gun now go on be that though. Then I tear gas. No, he throw tear gas. Tear gas again. Okay. Why they wear the tear gas? You don't off light. Now, what they supposed to do? What the police supposed to do? They go off light. They work out. They go. They not even on the this thing.
If it be you, oh, it will never be me in Jesus' name. So when it can't be you, you will go and say, Jesus no help you. Bad governance, state capture, incompetent rogues in charge of your affairs. There are consequences. In Benue State, like I said, the people of this community, I mean, you travel, right? If you are not someone who travels a lot, right, you won't be prone to being kidnapped because you might share the film. It might be magic. It will happen so fast. Everything will happen like so fast that, Baba, when I was at my friend's place yesterday. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? I think it was 2 days ago. And then we were talking about this same thing, like, the insecurity in Nigeria. And he now said he was talking to a friend in Nigeria who now said, oh, Nigeria, we dey here. Nothing they happen. Nigeria, you see, about all this insecurity, they reach us here. Be like that. Okay. He lives in Lagos. I was like, whoa, if they travel from Lagos to Ibadan, maybe they go stop you and they say, Baba, the best thing is say, I know they go anywhere. Now inside Lagos, I know they travel, go anywhere. Now he's a Nigerian in Nigeria, okay? So the situation of the country has forced him to accept his fate that as long as I'm not going anywhere, nobody will be able to kidnap me in Sokoto, in Kano, anywhere. So whatever is happening in that place, I don't care. And from that moment, he's already zoned out because he's fine in Lagos. He's fine. So why must he worry himself about what is going on in Sokoto or going on in Borno? So to him, he can remain positive. He can just say, I am positive. So this, my friend, was like, man, he didn't know what to say to him that much, right? So me, I now said, Baba, there's something about bad governance. You see, a lot of people, usually as typical Nigerians, right, they feel like once they have been sorted, if you like, tell them that 200 million Nigerians are living in poverty. They will tell you that I'm not one of them. So I don't understand what you're talking about. Because I'm not poor that much. I'm all right. But as you are talking right now, I'm organizing a vacation for my family to go to Dubai. Until when it will not happen. I said, Baba, just imagine this. Right? That I traveled to Nigeria, call the bluff of all this reality and just say, people who are just interested in, they just love to tarnish the image of Nigeria, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to show Nigeria, okay? So, and then, boom, they grab you. Then I ask you to kneel down, okay? To send a message to Nigeria government and your family. So I say, Baba, I can imagine, imagine say me, who have seen a lot of videos of these terrorists on social media, beheading people, shooting them at the back of their heads and all of that stuff, executing people. Some of them blindfolded, some of them not blindfolded. I say, Baba, imagine, See, the person me would kneel down one of them will now pick up, one of them will now get the phone. Here you get to record us so that they can post it on social media. Like everybody don't hear, say, breaking news. Some travelers between Kogi and Kinikon, they have been kidnapped by Boko Haram. Hey, another one. So bring out your phone. So they are like, bring out the phone. They constantly you kneel down. In that moment that you are kneeling down, I said, Baba, all the videos of people they beheaded, all the people they shot and all of that, everything will begin to reply. Will say, I am it, toss me. I said, Baba, me, I go drag. Because I don't understand, and I've observed this before, right? I don't know if you did too. You see, when you see all those terrorists, when they're like executing people, and those people don't even resist. I don't know if it's just me or me. I've seen a lot of them that I'm like, I don't know what they do to them. Because they will just take them, like they will just bring like about 10 people. And one after the other, they will be taking them up. Or sometimes they will tell them to kneel down. And then they will be shooting them. And like, none of them will even try to stand up and run so that they can shoot him. So my friend was like, maybe they have sedated them, drugged them, that some of them don't even know what's going on. They are just there for the camera, and boom, they don't even know what's going on. I was like, so if I get caught in that contraption, like everything will be playing itself back, like, it was long. How did I end up in this place? You get like, come on, me, I go one fight to like, you get like fight them, push back. So that I know they're gonna kill me anyway. So yeah, but I'll push back. My friend said no. I'll take a look at this real life victim of a failed country, failed government. Nobody can protect them. They are not allowed to protect themselves. So the terrorists can walk in any time. And once they hear that the terrorists were on their way, about they have to leave their own ancestral lands to run away to God knows where.
Everybody is gone here.
Just like desert.
It's a desert now. Manigi just this beautiful place. We are going to leave all these things behind. For who? For the Fulanis, of course. Kako government was a soldier. They want the Fulanis to occupy Nigeria and remain in Nigeria alone. Can you I ask again, who is to stop this? Who? They are busy in Abuja doing nothing, practically nothing. Out of our one small petty issue, but when life is at stake, people are dying. Go to Aso Rock. What is Thiefnubu doing? I don't know. Except to fly to France, to Dubai, and everywhere. Why his people are dying? This is our village. We don't have anywhere else to go to. See, yeah, man. Now you allow Fulanis to come and take over our land. Are they more superhuman beings than us? Are they more Nigerians than us? Just tell me. You say Nigeria, Fulanis are global people. Nonsense. Nonsense. Will you accept that I go to the far north and begin to cultivate my yam and maize? Will they allow me to do that? But here you say let them come and you talk about transhuman or whatever humans, protocol or whatever ECOWAS. You see all kinds of jargons. What kind of nonsense is this? Life is at stake. People are being displaced. Just do something. If you're overwhelmed, invite the international community to come and help you. Haba. But Pocho will still be there. Everybody is doing Pocho. Government is doing Pocho. Thiefnubu is doing Pocho at his level. The governors are doing Pocho at their own level. Everybody is doing Pocho. Pocho people everywhere. No wonder somebody said Nigeria is a shithole country. Okay, you have displaced these people. Where do you expect them to go to? Where? Would they come and meet you in Abuja? Haba, what is happening? Nigga be church ne. Nigga biane. Now nobody is here. Kai. Move on, like the song was stopping me. Don't come, there's nobody here. I said, the bishop said I should come and pick Father Fair. See, he said them. They were very, very frustrated and waiting for me. Who is to stop this? I'm asking again. Who is to stop this? Must everything be all about politics? People are dying. Please, this government, rise to your responsibility. Be accountable. For once, I beg, try. Where is that Nigeria, those Nigerian soldiers that are known to be very brave? Where are they? Or have they also been compromised? People in Portugal. No. I want to. If you don't come, we are finished. They are just like nothing.
At least a lot of you, everyone saw the environment, Abby. You saw the entire place. That's how beautiful the Middle Belt part of Nigeria is. How beautiful. Beautiful greenery, beautiful, what do you call it? Topography, they call it, right? So beautiful, like beautiful vegetation settings, beautiful, scenery like that. So natural. And the fresh air as well. Papa God, Fulani have turned the entire space to a kill zone. I've been a killing zone that they call it. People have been forced to abandon their homes like that. There were others whose homes were like that. They've been destroyed, burned down, and they've run away. You can't even recognize those places anymore. And I'm talking about thousands. So I'm not talking about 5, 10, 20, 30, 100 places. So thousands of communities like that have been attacked, destroyed, and not been rebuilt. No. Bukwari set up Northeast Development Commission to rebuild the homes like that were destroyed in the northeast of Nigeria. They stole the money. Gone. Have you heard that the student loan that they also told you, student loan, 600,000 students have been paid student loan? Lies, fake news. And they just told us now that 100 billion naira was disbursed to be distributed to students. Guess what? 71.5 billion of that money has been considered stolen. Well, yeah, not directly by the politicians. So I told you this before, that this is how it's going to be, right? All they need is just to say, we can present 20, 30,000 of people that we gave the money to. Then multiply that by 10. No, multiply it by 20. That's 600,000. Multiply it by 100. That's going to be 3 million. Exactly. That's how many people we have given it to. But it's only 30,000. Present it 30,000. Nobody's going to ask you to bring the remaining 2.997 million, right? Lies. 71.5 billion naira. ICPC is now saying that the university administrators are the ones who stole the money. And you really think they were the only ones who stole the money? Do you? High right. The insecurity in Nigeria will continue because a lot of people, a lot of external interests have built their own different businesses on it. In Kogi State, that seems to be the gateway to the Middle Belt part of Nigeria, like the Nigerian South Central. Hang on. Middle Beltans, you don't like to be called the North Central, Abi, because you are not North. Yeah? So no Google, they call you South Central. London South Central. There is something called South Central, right? I've heard it before. No, don't say Central London. No. There's something they always say in London as well, that South Central. South Central. South Central. I've heard that before. So we can call you South Central, the Middle Beltans. They've opened shop. So somebody curiously, right, was using Google Earth. It's like this website where you can search for anything, anywhere, and the satellite image will pop up, including if you want to see the street view. Somebody put up that, zoomed it out, to get closer to the objects. That was tiny in the map, and like widening only to discover that there is, what do you call that again? Private airfield, where we don't know what they are. I mean, extracting from this part of Kogi State, but they built their own airfield, not airport or airfield. Their planes land and leave. What kind of a rare earth mineral they are drilling from this space? Somebody made this video.
Look at the cost of ignorance on Nigeria. Few greedy come set up company here. Capital Flight. Maybe this is a limestone company. See airstrip. Not be airstrip with this. Not be plane takeoff with this. See airstrip now. See the ending. Airstrip takeoff for inside Kogi. Where they say Kogi no get airport. See airport inside Kogi. Airstrip inside Kogi State. See now. See the end. Nigeria. Finished. This is the cost of making semi-illiterate or complete illiterates in charge of your purse, your administration. They don't care. They are down, so they fear no fall. They leave it, destroy whatever. They don't care as long as they secure their purse, because they have no means of livelihood and you just gave it to them. So they're going to finish it. Look at it. It's just not far from Mopa. Damn it.
Airstrip in the...
This illegal mining, they use choppers. They procure arms exactly the same way as our military were doing in the South. They give them arms. They use choppers to come and cut away the gold, and they take them out of this country and make billions of US dollars. And the federal government is not doing what it should be doing. I took this letter to the former president when I was national chairman of APC, and I said, call the general to give you more brief. In fact, what is happening, or what subsequently happened in that part of the country, was exactly what the general told me was going to happen. Because these guys have been weaponized by the illegal big men who deploy them, secure territories, and the weapon is meant to protect the Chinese and other foreigners who they actually employ to carry out the mining. And on occasion, they use the same weapon to carry out banditry, kidnapping, and all of the terrible things that are going on. Chief of Committee Chairman of Defense Staff, tell the defense I said so. That with some retired military officers, army officers are involved in it. The day we can't tell the truth, this country cannot flourish. We can't change our, when it affects our people, we are at our best. We talk strong. Some other people appear to be above the law. That is what is going on with solid mineral. It is not that we don't know where it is. We have a whole survey of where we have what across the length and breadth of Nigeria. We also know, everybody complaining about certain people from certain nationalities. How they got here, even as we are talking now, they are doing those illegal mining. And those guys are getting richer when
Somebody said the mineral is quota. Is it quota? We don't know. We don't know how many of such airstrips are currently operational, right? In Nigeria. Nigeria government can't even, okay, they would know. They do. Because these guys are not ghosts. They did not just leave their countries and then appeared in Nigeria and then started extracting. Like, did you see the old structure? Did you see all the structures built around that quarry in that area? I call it quarry. Is that quarry? Or is it mining, what do you call it? Mining site. It should be mining site. Nobody knows. And then once they take all those things, gives the shares to their local collaborators and take the rest out of the country, the people are then left on their own. That the children can't even access healthcare. The story of this young boy in the Koolu, and this is even worse.
I pé àní níjọba Nàìjíríà yàrá. Ẹ wo ọmọ tí mò ń wò yìí, ọ̀la ni nínú ẹ̀. Wọ́n detect pé ó ní jaundice. Hospital mẹ́rin ló ti gbé lọ. Wọ́n gbé lọ sí Koolu hospital. Wọ́n refer àwọn lọ sí Lut. Láti Lut, wọ́n ní kó máa lọ sí Mercy. Láti Mercy, wọ́n ní kó máa bọ̀ lọ hospital kan tó wà ní inú reluwé ní kí lorúkọ ẹ̀ ń bì FNC. Wọ́n ní kó máa bọ̀. Wọ́n tún débẹ̀ yẹn náà wọ́n tún gba ọmọ yẹn. Wọ́n tún sọ fún wọn pé wọ́n tún máa gbé lọ sí Sùúrùlérè níbì kan. Wọ́n tún débẹ̀ náà wọ́n tún gbà. Wọ́n ní kò síná táwọn máa fi gbé sínú kúpétọ̀. Àyí pé Nàìjíríà wa yìí ojoojúmọ́ ló ń wọ̀ sí. Ọlọ́run ọba nìkan ló lè ṣàánú. Ẹ wo láti àárọ̀ tó ti ń gbé ọmọ yẹn kiri. Ṣé àwọn ìpé tó bá gba ọmọ yẹn tó fún ní first treatment? Nǹkan kan lè máa ṣe mí dẹ̀mọ̀ kí lágbára Ọlọ́run kan kò ní ṣe. Ẹ pé ayé Nàìjíríà wa yóò ti bàjẹ́ pátá.
Lágbára Ọlọ́run kan kò ní ṣe. By the grace of God, nothing will happen to the baby. It's always God. Because now only God will save them. That's what they believe. Now the story of that poor boy, according to the voice describing the video, the little boy is a little baby. He's just 7 days old. He is to be named tomorrow, like to be christened tomorrow. Now they discovered that he's got jaundice. I decided to blur his face because the message can still be gotten, right? You can still get the message without having to blast the little boy's face all over the place. Okay, so yeah. He's got jaundice. And 4 hospitals have rejected him. Almost 7 days, you have been here for, how old are you? You have a lot of how many shege Nigeria has shown you, Abi. And somehow, something that's going to probably tell you that, children are lucky. They don't even understand what the adults are going through. About almost 7 days, 7 days, baby. They don't show him Nigeria. If he survives it, when he grows up, and his mom says, now God save you. Nigeria won't kill you that time. Or hospital rejected you. Under that video, I saw people asking, why are you taking him to other hospitals? Where did you give birth to him? Did you deliver him at home? Typical Nigerians. Another person looked at the baby and said, oh, this baby don't jogodo. That is to say, the baby was high. The eyeball, this baby's eyeballs, they were like red, very unwell, crying. Right? Like you could tell, I saw it, right? So it was like, man, no, you feel so sorry for the little man. Especially the fact that it's so little that they can't even tell you what they are feeling inside. Those who have the capacity to do that, they won't. They won't. They didn't give reasons why. Maybe it's money. Something. 7 days old baby. Nobody is spared. Somebody said those who died last year, they don't know what God did to them. Typical Nigerians. the shege hit everybody enough that it turned them to philosophers. You know, it's this particular, kind of like a joke though, okay? And it's about the situation of Nigeria. This was years ago. I'm talking about maybe 25 years ago, in Gadeboye, right? And then a guy who was, I think he was like a repairer, or was it tailor? I don't know. I can't remember right. But the story was that they had a new child, a new baby, right, in on one street, and this baby won't stop crying. So he kept crying and crying and crying and crying, and they were like, "This is no longer ordinary." So they decided to call in the pastors, right? Immediately they came out, they saw Adeboye, Oyedeko, Kumuyi, and others who are just coming back from a crusade. So he approached them and said, "Please, could you please come in and pray for this baby? You know, he's been crying and this is no longer like safe. We've taken him to the hospital, they won't take him." So immediately they walked in, right? The pastors, they held, they hold hands and they decided to start deliverance prayer. But the baby's cry won't let them do anything. So they now say, "You know what? Bring this baby, bring this child to our next crusade, which is taking place tomorrow. Then we can really, but for now we can't do anything." So they left. So when Gadeboye decided to consult the Islamic clerics to see if they could do anything to help this child. Now they came as well, like a popular cleric was invited. So they prayed and prayed, but the baby won't let them pray. So they're like, "You know what? You might need to bring this child to us, like we can really do it in a bigger way." So they left. Same way, same thing goes for, same thing went for the traditionalist. However, it was the traditionalist, the oracle man who came in and, consulted the oracle, and the oracle told the truth. What did the oracle say? The oracle said, there was this guy called Alimi Kogbodoku. Now, Alimi Kogbodoku, right, a repairer down the streets, was a man who actually killed himself when the situation of Nigeria couldn't be bearable for him anymore. So different regimes, he attempted to kill himself. So the first one, right, things were not really moving well. So he decided to go and jump into the area's transformer, electricity transformer. It was around that time the NEPA took light, so he didn't die. So during the Babangida time, according to him, he decided to also, things were like terrible. So he went to go and jump on the third mainland bridge. By the time he landed on a boat passing under the bridge. So he escaped, right? So then Abacha came, suffering and smiling and all of that. So then Obasanjo came. He said it was when Obasanjo came that things really got bad and what have you. So it was one day that they decided, they just started smelling, they started smelling a very odious odor from his apartment, right? So when they opened the door, they found him hung. He killed himself. So it was a very terrible one for the entire street. So they buried him, hoping that, maybe next time he can choose a better destiny. The oracle consultant said, fine. That's exactly what this oracle just said. That Alimi Kogbodoku, that killed himself to go and choose a different destiny, that he was tired of Nigeria. He was expecting to be born in maybe America, Canada, Europe, Asia, all these places, but not Nigeria. But unfortunately, right, when he was born, before he opened his eyes, he started hearing, this can't be Nigeria again. No, it can't be Nigeria again. Then he was hearing it on the radio. Soldiers have just killed about 5 people in Ojota. Armed robbers have also robbed a bank and have just killed a pregnant woman, right? The Nigerian president, like all the normal stories that you just be like, which can contribute this for God's sake? So he started hearing all of that. He was like, this can't be Nigeria. But the Nigeria to be Mizio. This cannot. Okay. So when he opened his eyes as a baby, just a few minutes old baby, right there on the ceiling, there stood the ceiling fan. And that's very symbolic because that's exactly the same ceiling fan he hung himself with, like similarly, like ceiling fan. So when he opened his eyes and he saw the slave, I was like, so Nigeria, they bomb me again. I'd rather die. So the way herbalist now said, the Ifa Oracle consultant said, you know what, Mr. Gbenga, don't do anything. There's nothing anybody can do. The child would have to cry to death. You get what I mean now? So it is so similar that nobody is spared. And if everyone has a choice, including babies, they would not spend a day in trying to survive Nigeria. It's written all over our faces, including children. You see all over their faces, the old stress, the old, you see some children, they just be like, what did this boy feel they go through for this age? How could a 6-7-year-old be like so in Nigeria? They touch everybody. Some guys said they are not going to represent Ekiti in the National Sports Festival. And so they said police to go and arrest them. Police went to go and arrest people that decided they are not volunteering to represent Ekiti. Can't be like saying by force they must represent them. So imagine police will just be like, you are charged for not representing Ekiti. I don't know, like, so their friends made this video.
What the heck is this now? Just keep quiet. Let us be the witness. See me, they're beating me. Why? I swear to God, this one.
Come on. Oh, come on, camera.
Like, I don't know what they are going to charge them for. I know they do. Come and do. I know they do. Now they are asking for the PFN. No, PFN is Pentecostal. No, PFN. AFN or something. Athletic Federation of Nigeria, something like that. So please, buy for us. We are not like registered to Ekiti. It is true that, we are athletes from Ekiti, but we don't have anything to do with, nobody say we agreed to go and represent Ekiti and change our mind. We were not involved. They just came in and then they packed them. That's the story. And that's Nigeria. It can be like, it can sound so unbelievable sometimes because you can't imagine, like, how is that even possible? Nigeria, it's possible, Baba. Possibility is not, so no wonder if they ask you, Benny, Jackie Chan, don't play yourself, Nigeria. They have to take it serious like this before you get arrested. Like this NYSC guys.
So that you can listen to the lyrics. The lady don't do mistake. The lady is the mistake.
All of that for the service of Nigeria, where indeed they are all still going to be served. Now, let's talk politics a bit. I don't know how many of you who watched the exchanges between Rufai and Larry Olayinka, all because of what Dele Momodu said on that same channel yesterday. So let's roll it back. Dele Momodu, who spent like about an hour on Arise News yesterday, discussing the state of things in Nigeria, including what Thiefnubu and his gang have done to Nigeria. Then the opposition, then PDP. You see, how PDP became polarized so much because of the personal ambitions of individuals and all that. Dele Momodu then reminisced on what led to the departure of Peter Obi from PDP, like, which is kind of like a true story. According to Dele Momodu, Atiku was not really interested in running in 2023. In fact, he was one of those who were strongly in support of the power returning to the South, but with a clause. And that clause was, as long as PDP will be zoning into the eastern part of Nigeria, southeast. That's the only way he's going to agree to this this southern power returning to the South. And somehow it was kind of like accepted by a section of their group, except for with the Wiki, who opposed it. It didn't just oppose it. It went as far as frustrating Peter Obi out of that place. And listen, don't pretend that you didn't know how all that played out. Oh, I can remind you, if you have short memory or your Stockholm syndrome is at the advanced level, incurable, because there are some incurable Stockholm syndrome. If I do like this now, won't you say I'm sleeping? I mean, you know, I'm pretending as well, right? Now imagine if you walk in while I'm like that. Mayegun, Mayegun, Mayegun. That is why the Yoruba says, you can only wake someone who is asleep. You can't wake anyone who pretends to be sleeping. And it does soon anji aiji akwiroro. When it comes to when it comes to the deliberate, intentional, I want to use wickedry. I've been a crookedry, crooked. Right? There is no excuse. There is no way of explaining it away. But somehow, right? With the Wiki and his gang, because I saw some of them, with the Wiki said, in fact, he actually went to this their PDP delegate, whatever, in Anambra State, Peter Obi's state. And he told them that he can't win. He cannot win. You know he cannot win. He doesn't have the money. Give me the power. Give me the power. Give me the power to go and face APC. He cannot win. Of course, he believed in so much money, which Peter Obi at the time said he was not willing to play ball. That's the excuse of, that was the explanation of Dele Momodu. But Lady Olayinka, a gutter boy, all right, is like a political jobber, and give that to him. He is also a criminal, by the way, because after working for Paul Leshe, Babaladiye Ekiti, He wasn't the only person that got arrested, right? I'm talking about Faulishe, who happened to be Larry's boss. Larry too was also arrested, and he was tried. And guess what? For what? For theft, for stealing. That's exactly what it's called, for stealing. Now all of them dipped their hand in whatever they could steal from Ekiti State when they had the chance. Now there is another chance though. But it what Dele Momodu, what he said, were they like figment of his imagination? Larry came for him straight and said, Dele Momodu is just an errand boy for Atiku. In this 2023, in the last 2023 charade, Dele Momodu personally cashed out 500 million naira from Atiku. That's a lot of money. So let's go to what he said and what Larry said. He said, I say, he said, and all that. Okuna used 2 years here.
They should stop scamming Nigerians.
Okay, let's talk about Atiku, because you made quite a point where you said he's a consummate Democrat, to quote you directly. And I want to link that to the issue of ideology, because fundamentally the ideology around the PDP always focused on representation, inclusivity, ensuring the North and South are represented in an equitable manner. But some might argue that Atiku has been a stumbling block to that. So it's interesting that you're calling him the consummate Democrat. I want to see, how do you reconcile that? Because some other PDP chieftains are saying that Atiku should go just the same way Wike should go. Atiku should go as well because he's part of the problem. Why is it that his ambition should determine the direction of the party? That's what they're saying.
His ambition has never determined the direction of the party.
So it's okay for him to be a perennial presidential candidate.
It is the easiest, it is the easiest question for me to answer. PDP does not have problem with North-South. PDP fielded General Obasanjo 1999 to 2007. Thereafter, Yar'Adua came and unfortunately passed on while in power. And Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, a perfect gentleman, came on board to complete their first term. Then he contested his own. So that's 1 + 8 of Obasanjo, that's 9 years. After that, Jonathan did another 4 years. That was 13 years. Okay? And he completed that in 2015. So, and they still gave him a chance to contest again, which he lost to Buhari. So, had he won that election, PDP would have had Southerners for 17 years out of 24 years. None of you remembers. People try to confuse us by telling lies. So PDP, I don't know about APC or any other party, PDP does not have problem. People say it's supposed to be 8 years, not 8 years. In which constitution? And fortunately, Dr. Abati is a lawyer. He should come and tell us. It was the same wicked people complaining about North-South that brought the committee that threw our party primary open. That's why I was able to buy a form. I bought a form. Because at that time, Atiku had told them that if they will cede power to the Southeast, then it will make sense to him. But if it will still be a rotation between just a few zones, he will not support it. He wanted them to cede power to the Southeast. But because Wike had already disqualified himself by saying he's not an Igbo man, he says he's from South-South, he's not interested in Igbo or anything. So, and they succeeded in frustrating Peter Obi out of the party. So the course was clear for Nyesom Wike. There was nobody who had the capacity. You must give it to him. And I like to say it all the time. Damn good guy. You know, projects man. That's why we used to call him Mr. Project. But always angry. Now, why did they not pick him? The same man who is complaining about North-South was ready to be vice president. Let him come out and deny that he never planned to be vice president to Atiku.
Okay, Prof. I said Prof.
No, I will claim
maybe you go back one day
to
academia and become a professor. Look, there is an unwritten consensus. It's even written that North versus South divide is a major
try. You know. I remember when Buhari came on. Oh, Buhari can never win election in Nigeria. Oh, he was a dictator. Oh, he was a tyrant. Why did Buhari make it that time? Necessity. Necessity is always the mother of invention. It will not happen until it has been tried and tested. And so let's see what happens. Let me tell you, I have a theory, and the theory is simple, that Thiefnubu can only be countered this time by a northerner. Any southerner telling you, I want to contest against Thiefnubu is going to waste his time.
No, but Thiefnubu doesn't want to leave the position. No. He wants a second term.
So that's what I'm telling you. So, and the PDP, we want him there. And the PDP or coalition or whatever you call them also want power. And the only way they can get power is to go by Isaac Newton's theory of actions and reactions are always equal and opposite. So they will come from the opposite direction. I can guarantee you that. Who will be the person? I don't know. If they attempt, I hear some Yoruba person says he wants to contest. He's a guy I like, a governor, Governor Seyi Makinde. But I know that at the end of the day, that cannot happen. It cannot happen. So what will then happen is that the North, who are the people, and when you look at, in fact, when I look at the configuration of Thiefnubu's cabinet today and all his appointments, you will see that, oh, people will say, okay, he's appointing Yoruba people because he's a Yoruba man. But it's not even about Yoruba, it's about his own personal cronies. Most of them. Cronyism has crept into our politics, and the North is naturally aggrieved that, Oga, we thought we support you. Our man was the president. The man left. You started attacking him as if forgetting that another election cycle will soon come. They were all abusing Buhari. So definitely the North will want to field their own candidate. And the way the Okowas are going about it, turning this thing into a southern affair, we made that mistake during June 12th. When we turned the national mandate of Abiola into a Yoruba mandate, it is the same error of judgment that I see Thiefnubu's people committing right now. The moment you start emphasizing that those who are decamping, because everybody decamping now, they are from the south, I'm sure maybe they will be able to coerce a few people in the north.
People have decamped from Kano.
Okay.
NNPP, led by Senator Smaila Kawu.
When my brother and friend
Dele Momodu is an Atifku's man, okay? And somehow his own theory, according to him, is that if they have any coalition to remove Thiefnubu in 2027, that's why he went back to say, by the virtue of how many Southerners have been president and how many Northerners for how many years, the Northern Nigeria is still lagging behind. So they still have a catch-up to do. So therefore, if you want to remove Thiefnubu, you must bring in a Northerner. I don't know who, but we need a Northerner. We all know he's Atiku. Trust me. Then come Larry Olayinka.
You were the one trying to digress. When Dele Momodu was here yesterday, he made the allegation. You did not puncture his allegation. You did not defend me. Now I am here talking about Dele Momodu. You are the one defending Dele Momodu. And I will suggest that next time you are bringing Dele Momodu, bring me too. Let him sit and I sit, so that the two of us cannot be the one talking. You will not be the one talking on his behalf.
Mr. Leary, answer the question. Mr. Leary, just answer the question.
Listen, I will answer your question.
Yes, please.
I will answer your question. And don't also be forceful about telling people to answer the question, because I have right not to answer your question. I will answer your question. Dele Momodu was Atiku's campaign spokesperson, and he collected money. He cannot tell me that he did not collect money. We're running into millions of naira, more than 500 million. He can let him come here, sit on your studio, look me in the eye, and tell me that he has not collected more than 500 million naira from Atiku Abubakar. let him come and face me like this. Bring him to this studio and bring me too. Don't be the one trying to defend him. Bring him. You can reschedule this program for tomorrow. I'm here. I'm half time. Bring him here. Let him sit here.
Larry.
As spokesperson of Atiku's campaign, did he not collect money?
Okay, Larry.
Yes.
Let's leave personality issues. The personality side, persons have the right to defend their own integrity. You said Aredele Mamadou has a degree in Yoruba. He also has a master's in literature in English. But let's leave all these personality things. Now, let's talk about...
I should be writing books now.
Let's talk about more substantive issues. Now...
To study Yoruba. On a normal thing, when you study Yoruba, what are you... You were the one trying to digress. When Dele Momodu was here yesterday, he made the allegation. You did not puncture his allegation. You did not defend me. Now I am here talking about Dele Momodu. You are the one defending Dele Momodu. And I will suggest that next time you are bringing Dele Momodu, bring me too. Let him sit and I sit, so that the two of us cannot be the one talking. You will not be the one talking on his behalf.
Mr. Leary, answer the question. Mr. Leary, just answer the question.
Listen,
evidence.
I will answer your question.
Yes, please.
I will answer your question. And don't also be forceful about telling people to answer the question, because I have right not to answer your question. I will answer your question. Dele Momodu was Atiku's campaign spokesperson, and he collected money. He cannot tell me that he did not collect money. We're running into millions of naira, more than 500 million. He can let him come here, sit on your studio, look me in the eye, and tell me that he has not collected more than 500 million naira from Atiku Abubakar. Let him come and face me like this. Bring him to this studio and bring me too. Don't be the one trying to defend him. Bring him. You can reschedule this program for tomorrow. I'm here. I'm half time. Bring him here. Let him sit here.
Larry.
As spokesperson of Atiku's campaign, did he not collect money?
Okay, Larry.
Yes.
Let's leave personality issues. The personality side, persons have the right to defend their own integrity. You said Aredele Mamadou has a degree in Yoruba. He also has a master's in literature in English. But let's leave all these personality things. Now, let's talk about...
I should be writing books now.
Let's talk about more substantive issues. Now, one, there is talk in the community about coalition politics. Where do you think that is going? The APC believes that coalition politics it will work, that it is a democracy. Some other people say, it is not going to work. They say, it's not going to affect either President Thiefnubu or the APC in any way. Now, what do you think about this coalition politics, the personalities involved? Let's deal with that.
The moment you are doing coalition, and that coalition is to support one person's ambition. Who is talking about coalition? Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. And who is thinking about benefiting from coalition? Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. How will coalition now work? The moment you are talking about coalition to benefit Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, coalition will not work. And that is why I've maintained that coalition, is anything working in coalition today? It has, before they even started it has failed. They will tell you that, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar will run with Peter Obi. Will Peter Obi agree to run with Atiku Abubakar? Will Atiku Abubakar allow Peter Obi to run as president under the coalition? Or will Peter Obi allow another person to be fielded as candidate? Those are the issues. It cannot work, and it will not work. Then, this is 2025. By this time next year, we're already talking about who is the candidate, or who will be president candidate of the political parties. By this time next year. So how do you do coalition of political party between now and next year and you produce a candidate? It will not work. And I'm saying it here. That coalition is DOD. Then you want the ticket to be sold to the Southeast. All these things are just trying to be clever by half.
Okay. I want to set some records straight, and these are facts. I deal with facts alone. Dele Momodu got his first job with African Concord magazine in May 1988. Then he also worked at National Concord, Sunday Concord, Business Concord, and the Yoruba newspaper Ishokon. And afterwards, he went on to Classic, another magazine outfit. At some point, they said he was the highest paid editor in Nigeria. So the assertion that it was a picture book Dele Momodu was making, that's not true, because he only set up Ovation in 1996 after I went on exile. So, and I'm not sure you're going to call the likes of Concord, a prestigious newspaper outfit, a picture book in this country. Fact one, taken out. Secondly, I want you to provide us empirical facts that Dele Momodu is on Atiku Abubakar's pay list. Probably, maybe bank details you are privy to of how he's being paid and other factual evidence to support your claim.
Well, are you done?
Yes, I'm done, sir.
You are done with your facts. But you miss out one fact. You miss out the fact that Dele Momodu went to university to study Yoruba.
That was where things started getting hotter. And Larry, I wanted to say Larry Olayinka is now, I think he's becoming he has become an expert in trying to deviate a conversation when you don't have any real answer, right? Just attack that person straight up. Because with that, you're likely going to force them to throw fist. And then the whole conversation can end. Or better still, no tangible sense will be made out of the entire conversation. So, Rufai Oseni decided to press him further on Larry Wumboj. Dele Momodu studied Yoruba and what? Now here is the mess.
To study Yoruba. On a normal thing, when you study Yoruba, what are you supposed to become? Are you not supposed to become something like maybe a teacher, or probably you have studied Yoruba in the process, maybe you also studied some parts of FIFA. You're supposed to have become a Babalawo now. So how do you come out and tell me that somebody who did not study journalism, because me, I studied journalism, and that is why I'm saying that for you to be called a journalist, you must have studied journalism somewhere. He did not. Even you that you are talking to me now. Listen, listen to me. You brought fact. No, let me finish. You brought out fact. Let me also give you fact. Oseni Rufai, you studied animal anatomy, and you are in Arise as on-air personality. You cannot face me and call yourself a journalist. I won't agree with you because you did not study journalism. I did. Dele Momodu did not. So he cannot face me and tell me that he studied journalism. He's a journalist. I am a journalist. Dele Momodu is not because he did not study journalism. Simple.
Okay.
Larry.
For purposes of public education, look, what we did, what happened, the people who came before us, Stanley Makebu and all, other leaders in this profession in Nigeria, what they did was to design a multidisciplinary perspective for the practice of Nigerian journalism. And that was why you will find people from various disciplines. At the Guardian, we had somebody who had a master's degree in architecture who was in charge of housing. We had people who studied science, who were in charge of the science pages. We had people who had military background, managing the defense section. So it's not as if in the modern age, you must have a mass comm, a degree or have particular specialization. So it's a multidisciplinary field.
I think I have a right of response. Mr. Larry Olayinka, I asked you a clear question. Can I finish? No, let me finish. Okay, respond to you.
Let me respond to Oga Ruben, your Oga first. I'll come back to you. Let me respond to your Oga first. You see, Nigeria Press Council, there is a guideline. Before you can be called a journalist,
you must have a diploma in journalism. That is the standard. Go and read provision of Nigeria. Go and read it.
Okay.
So you must have diploma in journalism.
Okay.
And even NUJ will tell you that you must. That was the reason NUJ set up International Press Institute for people to be trained as journalists. That was the reason. The reason NIJ was set up was for people to be trained as journalists. For you to become a journalist, even if you have obtained degree, you must go to either NIJ, International Press Institute, to do a diploma, a 1-year diploma in journalism. That is a standard. If you have not done that, to my mind, you are not a trained journalist.
Okay, Mr. Leary Olayinka, I mean, a couple of things. Number one, I asked you a question and you pivoted. Rufai Oseni was not the subject matter. The fact at first, your assertion was that Mr. Dele Momodu was printing a picture book, and I proved you wrong by giving you facts that I worked with Concord, a reputable outfit.
I'm no longer hearing that.
And for your education, it's obvious you don't even know that journalism is broad. And there needs to be a lot of education. There's multidiscipline in journalism. And I have also done a lot of work and a lot of training in this business across board, being a journalist for over 20 years. So your assertions are wrong, and obviously it is incumbent on you to get a lot of education. But the question I asked you that you pivoted from was for you to prove. Okay, we'll go for a quick break now, we'll come back.
To study you.
They don't give us a sign. Rufai, don't worry anymore. Let's go on a break. So they had to call it off. That was part of the drama. But now, brethren, the National Association of Nigerian Students president that got kidnapped 2 days ago, he has regained his freedom. Now he has released a statement on what happened. I want you to listen. I don't want to say it before you hear it, right? The NANS president, supposed the president of Nigerian students, that won his election, but Thiefnubu's son, had his own candidate. And when this guy won't collect the 100 million naira he offered him, right? They decided to kidnap him. On the day of his inauguration, they stripped him naked, beat him blue, black, and recorded his video. And then released a statement that says he is no longer interested in being the president of Nigerian students. All that happened, those involved, including Thiefnubu's son. In fact, he said, one of the thugs told him that Sheyi Thiefnubu told them that even if they kill him, nothing will happen. If they record his video and post the video online, the video of the Nigerian student president naked, published online, known that it is published by the son of the president of Nigeria, he told them nothing will happen. That should, right? Oh, you need to listen to this.
I was invited to Lagos to meet with Sheyi. I met with Sheyi and the Minister for Youth. The Minister for Youth, when he saw me, he hugged me in Lagos. We talked, and I was to be offered 100 million naira. But the thing is, it's not all about money. There are things which I stand for. You cannot ask me to begin to promote a president who has not done something for me to say he has done it. If he does something good, I will promote him. We will support him as the president and commander-in-chief. But where he is, you cannot say I should keep quiet. I won't do that. That we couldn't settle. And they felt that I'm being stubborn not to accept money and to come to Lagos without accepting money and going back. So they planned my abduction, and on the 15th, I was abducted. Of April, I was abducted, stripped naked, beaten seriously, in collaboration with the MD of NTA. The MD of NTA, I was packaged to NTA to make involuntary statement that I am no longer, that I have renounced my position as NANS president. I did that to gain my freedom. But immediately I released a press statement that I was forced, it was under duress, and because I was naked, I was beaten. They claimed that they will share the video. That Sheyi told them that they can share the video, nothing will happen. And that even if they kill me, he will order. That was the word Ladoja used. It is Ladoja that is telling me this. That he will instruct, yes, he will instruct the Inspector General of Police to cover it up. And if he doesn't do that, he will go. So I now ask, even this morning when somebody was telling me that, you know who Sheyi is? I say, yes, Sheyi is an ordinary citizen like myself. He's not occupying any official position. I told them yesterday, I made it clear, that even if I'm coming to this hall and I'll be shot, I'll still come to this hall. At the end, today, the inauguration is concluded and I'm the NANS president. I want Nigerians to know what has happened and that we are not going to give up and that Sheyi can do anything he wants to do. He's already in this hotel. This inauguration wouldn't have held. You can see the organization is not correct. See the way the things was hardly done. I told the MC, quickly start. Don't do no protocol. Do the inauguration as long as though they will be arresting or killing the NANS president now, who controls over 40 million Aluta forces. So I want to, for the want of time, I don't want to take much of our time, but I have told you in brief. So we cannot say, the most important thing which my government, which we want to do as leaders of NANS, is that we will fight the cultists. We will take away cultism from NANS, the touts from NANS. They are just a bunch of touts and criminal elements. When politicians want to do anything, they recruit them to do all of these things, and that is what we have come to fight. I need your support for us to be able to do this, because without you supporting me, supporting our leadership, there's no way we'll be able to achieve this, because these people have gone far. They have no shame. I want to say, finally, that Thiefnubu is a very bad example to the Nigerian youths. And the worst thing that will happen to Nigeria will be for Thiefnubu to become the governor of Lagos State. He has no shame, he has no character. I have been strapped naked, he has my video in his phone. If we are in a country where things work, they are supposed to trace that in his phone, and he should be prosecuted. I do not know if, what he wants to do with my naked video in his phone. It is also in the phone of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Student Affairs. The Secretary, while we went to submit a letter to the Minister of Defense, the essay to the Minister of Defense told him that he saw my naked video while they were beating me, that is also in his own phone. This is the country that we are, but they are making a mistake with the wrong person. The only solution to this for them to do the right thing, or they should quickly terminate my life. I thank you very much for listening, Your Excellency.
What shall I say unto the Lord? Yes, Lord. All I have to say, thank you, Lord. What shall I say? Thank you, Lord.
There's a lot of people who don't even understand the gravity of what these guys are capable of. You are being ruled by a family of gangsters, the family of career criminals, from papa to mama to Peking. It is a family of freeloaders, chancers. Here is a further breakdown of what led to Sheyi Thiefnubu fighting for the position of NANS, not for himself, but for somebody to control the student. What's that guy's name? The guy they made Asenyo? Is that what his name is? Asenyo, the one that is a former NANS president. He's been in NANS for like about 30 years. He is now the special advisor to Thiefnubu on student affairs. He is one of those who have had, who had fought for the APC, Egbekegbe, in the last 10 years. So he's been rewarded. He's right now advising Thiefnubu that he doesn't see. But for this guy, he is not from their clique. He's not with them. So Sheyi Thiefnubu kidnapped him, beat him up, recorded the beating, as well as the stripping him naked. They recorded all of that. Is on his phone. And that's the president, the son of your president.
And Pedro too, after successful 1-year tenure, held a convention here in Abuja at the old parade ground, where the new inaugurated president, Comrade Atiku Issa Abubakar, was duly elected by the vast majority of the senators that was present in that convention as the president of NANS. And yesterday, inauguration was feast, having dignitaries who attended the inauguration, former governor of Kano State, Ibrahim Shekau, former governor of Kogi State, Governor Idris Wada, and other dignitaries. There was an emir too who was present. And we choose Westcarton Hotel Hall for the inauguration. In the morning, because I was the one coordinating the process. So in the morning, I was at Westcarton Hotel when Thiefnubu drove in. So when he left...
Thiefnubu, you mean the president's son?
Yes, the president's son. When he drove in to Westcarton Hotel, so I was somewhere at Westcarton and I saw him. So when he left the venue, the manager now told me that the inauguration can no longer hold in this venue, that there was an instruction from the president's son that NAS cannot hold their inauguration here. And I told him that you can't tell us not to hold our inauguration here because this particular venue has already been paid for, and we'll proceed by whatever we want to do today. Maybe after today, you can ask us not to come here again or whatever, because we've booked for this place for a very long time. Okay, Thiefnubu left, and immediately all our dignitaries are already on ground, so we usher them in and we begin the process. To the extent that the manager hotel has to go back and meet the technical team of the hotel. They have to switch off all appliances in the hall, including their generator, the light, the AC, and everything. So we're using solar light. That was all we used. So we didn't have access to the facilities that we paid for in that hotel because of the instruction of the son of the governor, of the president. So as the inauguration proceeded...
How do you know that? I mean, how do you know that for sure? You saw him at that hotel?
I saw him at that hotel.
Yes.
And the manager of the hotel also confirmed to me that
the instruction was from the president's son.
The instruction was from the president's son. And I was like, what is the correlation between the president's son and NANS? He wasn't a stakeholder of the organization. He didn't attend any institution as far as Nigeria is concerned. So I see no reason why he should be meddling into the affairs of the organization. I don't know. Then I felt maybe it is the normal political thing, but we proceeded in whatever we are doing. So as Governor Shekau was delivering his speech, we've already inaugurated the executive.
So your guests attended the event in spite of the fact that there was no electricity in the hall,
they all attended,
and you were using the solar lights and what have you?
Yes, they all attended the event. They were all around. So we already inaugurated the president. The president already delivered a speech. Then it was the time for guest speech. Shekau, who happens to be the chairman of one of the chairmen of the occasion, was giving his own speech. Towards the tail end of his speech, that was when we now start hearing voices, and people are jamming the door of this thing, and our people started running. So they bugged the hall door. They came in, they forced it and came in. So immediately they were beating everybody they met, even ladies, and a lot of persons wounded, and they abducted the president. It was in our presence there that
the newly inaugurated
president was macheted in his head. They cut someplace in his hand, and they went away with him. Since yesterday, we've not seen him. But as I was coming into the studio, I was told that he has been released from their captive, and he has been taken to some of this hospital. He's still in coma as we speak. And some of our students do that.
The newly inaugurated president of NANS,
yes,
his name is Issa
Atiku Abubakar.
Issa Atiku Abubakar,
yes,
was abducted yesterday. And he's just been released. You say he was injured before he was...
He was macheted, injured, butchered. In fact, they stripped him naked in front of everybody. What happened yesterday is something I have not witnessed before in my life. It is a rape on our democracy, completely. For over 3 decades of my stay on earth, I had not seen that kind of scenario. Then I now felt that, why are we undergoing this? Is it because somebody is the son of the president? So he has to start unraveling, meddling, how will I put it? He has to start oppressing us because of some power that he felt he acquires as the son of the president.
Yeah, let me ask
that
you,
will not take.
Has there been any conversation before now with Nance and the president's son?
This is the second time that the president will be abducted.
The president of Nance will be abducted.
Yes.
So another president had been abducted before.
No.
Issa
Atiku Abubakar. This is the second time they will abduct him. The first time he was abducted, they beat him also, they stripped him naked. They had to force him. According to him, he said he was forced to the office of the DGNTA to go and address press that he is no more the president under DOS before he was released. And the video, his nakedness and everything. Then he said, even with everything that they have done to him, he will still proceed in whatever he wants to do because it was a Nigerian student that elected him and he cannot betray their trust and all that. So he came back, he began his inauguration process and all of that. And as the inauguration was commencing yesterday, that was when all these ones happened. And they almost disrupt the process. If not that we have concluded the inauguration process and he was taken away from the venue after he has been macheted and battered, butchered. And
so there was chaos yesterday at the venue of your event?
Yes, it was.
Interesting. Well, I'm sure my colleague Ayo has further questions for you. Ayo.
Well, thank you, Malwe. Mr. Okomo, it's... as you said, it will be worrisome if one really, experienced that kind of thing. But there was a question that Malwe began with, and that is the question of faction or no faction. I just want to be, clear as well, because there are those who are saying that, because earlier this month of April, there was this report that Comrade Atiku Abubakar has agreed to work with Nance President Comrade Oladoja. Please, help us understand what the relationship is between the two men. Who is who among the two? Atiku Abubakar is the authentic president of Nance, the one that was handed over, the government was handed over to by the outgone president of Nance. The news that they circulated that he has agreed to work with one Ladoja, that news was after his adoption, after his first adoption, that he was placed under DOS to make a statement that he's no more the president. That was when they circulated that news. So that is their tactics. That is what they have been doing, and it is.
Sheyi Thiefnubu for governor 2027. Baba, if you have an idea of how many of your fellow diasporans they have recruited for that project, Sheyi Thiefnubu for president 2027. He's a very young man, he's educated, he's article. Oh God, please. He kidnapped the Nance president because the person he wants to be the head of the Nigerian students did not win. And he himself being the president's son who must have whatever he desires. And he's doing it for his father. Because according to the guy, Issa Atiku Abubakar, who they claim is the president now, right? They wanted him to be praising Thiefnubu, and he said he can't do that. He can't be saying things that are not true just because they will give him money to say that. No, you can't do that. So he rejected their advances or their offer, and they just had to teach him a lesson. Here is another member of that supposed denounced sharing his own, telling us what happened. As for this guy that I just spoke, that one a future politician. No. This guy is conveniently and comfortably just lying. You don't need, you do not need too much brain cells to understand that some of what he said there were just exaggerated. Like, they butchered him. Do you know what it means to butcher someone? Like butcher you, that means you're dead. They pieces you into pieces. Yeah? He said that they beat him up, that he was in a coma. They macheted him and all that. But we've seen the guy. He didn't look like somebody who just came back from being butchered and from coma. Let's say this one side.
This country, I think we the youth, we have one problem. Sheyi is the only president of son we have in this country that is trying to bring himself so low, mingle among youth. We've had several presidents. Some of us don't even know their sons or their daughters' name. The allegation that Henry Okuomo, who says also that he is a former Senate president, handing over to another Senate. I don't know whether there's a division there as well. He says that he places the allegation, squarely at the feet of the president's son, saying that the president's son, Mr. Thiefnubu, has been attempting to interfere in student union politics, and that he was at the venue of their Wealth Carlton Hotel on Tuesday, telling the manager, because I asked him, I said, how do you know that? Did you see him? He said, yes. Yes, you saw him. He could have been there as a guest. He could have been there for any other reason. He said the manager of the hotel told them that this is what the president's son has just said, that their event will not be allowed to hold in the hotel anymore, and that their event was frustrated. They did not give them electricity, and they refused them using the facilities at the hotel. Are you aware of all of this? I'm not aware, but I read one stupid allegation on Sahara Reporters. Is she part of dance? Let me tell you, man. That's the question he also raised as well. This country, I think we the youth, we have one problem. Sheyi is the only president of son we have in this country that is trying to bring himself so low, mingle among youth. We've had several presidents. Some of us don't even know their sons or their daughters' name. But Sheyi, whenever he sees students, he sees youth, some of us watch him online. I think there was a time after my election, I traveled to Kano because we lost one of our comrades during the Ramadan. When they told me that I've now met with the Youth Council president of Kano in that same house. So he now told me that, am I traveling back to Jos? I said, yes. He said, I wish I can stay till evening. That there's this Ramadan fasting, breaking fasting, that Sheyi is doing around the north. I attended that program. I was overwhelmed. This is a president's term among people, youth, gisting, telling them, eating with them. The same thing in the other day, Sahara Reporter. I don't know, maybe they have issue with the president's son. I don't know. Because even me, when somebody called my attention there yesterday, like I told you in my speech, I talked about the regional campus security summit, which I addressed that we need to secure our campuses. We have manuals in our campuses, students. We'll talk to them, we'll let them see reason why they should help the Nigeria military and the police too to secure the campus. The next thing somebody will send to me, only yesterday, Sahara made almost 9 reports about my speech. That I'm condemning President Thiefnubu that is not securing campuses. That you don't understand. That Thiefnubu, somebody even sent me one and said, who is Thiefnubu dance president? So he's not your friend? Is he your friend? He's not my friend. He's just somebody I know. Casually, I see him on TV. The only time I can tell you that we've met is, I think there was during the campaign when he asked the NANS to come around in the, I think where they were doing what was this program?
his youth program too. So students were there and we snap picture with him. Everybody was happy. You know, when you see a president's son, so I don't see reason why NANS will just decide, people will just decide and think when they drag his name on media, I don't see.
Nuisance, Lele.
Apostle. Hey. Apostle. That is God. Now the NANS president for Sheyi Thiefnubu's NANS president, like you have your own INEC president, right? That's Sheyi Thiefnubu's NANS president. The apostle.
Shay, help us, oh. Help us. There is God. Oh.
There is God. I want to say finally, but I don't have to. Yeah. The popularity of Ibrahim Traore continues to grow and spread across continents, from Africa to Caribbeans, and then to Europe, even to America, as well as Asia, Arabia, name it. Now, people are now staging solidarity rallies. They are marching, calling on the West to tread carefully that this time around, they will no longer buy into the propaganda of painting the African leader that does not play balls, painting them black before they are assassinated or even their country invaded. That this tactic will no longer really go well. If anything happened to Traore, there will be backlashes. So in London today, there were the Afro-Caribbeans who came out in their thousands, put it that way, to show a solidarity. I have seen videos of people who have staged a solidarity march for the same Traore across Europe, including the Caribbeans, where they are indeed warning the West to be careful. There will be backlashes. France, be careful. And today, they decided to remind Britain, be careful. So on the streets of London, we had this march for Traore.
Look at this, my people. Look at this. Big up the elders, man. Big up the women. Big up the certain man, them, man. Get me? I come out in unison. Africa, the diaspora, the piece of one, like they're leading something, but they're not. But I suppose they do what they gotta do, and we do what we gotta do. Them and that powers, and the armies them are walking. See that blue? Mad. Big dog, Tony. Yeah, we get the flags up. Everyone's here. Jamaica, Tanzania, Congo. Everyone. Power. Bringing London to a standstill. That's it, London to a standstill. Look at the elders, man. Where's the young people though, bro? Like, a lot of moist. Don't stand for nothing, not from pissy blocks. Yeah, you know, like that.
everywhere. You know, and a lot of people are praising this current enthusiasm of Africans, Afro-Caribbeans, and then the lovers of Africa, like, you know, especially this younger generation who are very much upbeat, you know, about the history of Africa and how things went really, really hurry or like bad. So somehow, Ibrahim Traore has become the symbol of that, like, it's like a symbol of the African dream, right? For some of the younger Africans who have, or who almost have no one of any credible sort of like a character or a view, personality to look up to. He is young, he's just at 36, right? He took on not just the corrupt political class of his country, to save his country, of course. He also went on to take on the big elephant in the room, France, who have become so much comfortable in exploiting this West African country for decades with no consequences until Traore came. Burkina Faso, probably believed that was their destiny of servitude, slavery to the West. So the more they are pushing propaganda of trying to oust him, arrest him, or even kill him, yeah, continue to reverberate, you know, all over the world, where young people believe that no, that this shouldn't happen. Some are already volunteering to go to Burkina Faso. Like, if for any reason they send, like they did to Gaddafi, they send in their tanks and jets and what have you, they would volunteer to fight for Burkina Faso until the last person. Now that is something, it's serious, right? So here is the other side of their march in London today.
Traore, happening in London. Organic march. We heard 30th of April and everyone's come out. Imagine. Ibrahim This is the message to the French and American government. Hands off Ibrahim Traore. We are watching from across the globe. We are watching. We don't need to be in Burkina Faso to stand up for our great. All right, we are. Yeah.
Oh, it was your face.
All right, no. Yeah. So yes, we are. We don't need to be in Burkina Faso to be standing up and in solidarity. We're right here in the UK, and we're sending not only a message to the French and American government, we are sending it to the UK government and all other governments across the globe. We are watching. Anything happens to Ibrahim Traore, there's going to be hell to pay. Anything happens to Ibrahim Traore, even if he dies of natural death, natural causes, we're going to be suspicious. And 10 times the amount of people that are out on the streets today will be out in rioting. If anything at all happens to Ibrahim Traore, let the message be loud and clear and unequivocal. Yes, we're standing in solidarity with our wonderful brother Ibrahim Traore and the people of Burkina Faso. Yes, let's see if I can get the front of this, see where I can... Ibrahim Traore. Traore. Yeah, I'm done. Traore. 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 Ibrahim. 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 Rup. Traore. 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 Traore.
Ibrahim Traore. Ibrahim Traore. I hope the message is actually loud and clear. There are those who are going to voluntarily and physically go to Burkina Faso if America or Britain or France or NATO or whatever it is. And, you know, it is not just for those who are going to physically stand there to defend the Burkina Faso. It's about those who are also going to make the homeland of all these countries, right, hot and ungovernable. So, I mean, it's really good to see. You may be wondering, like, what is that special? What is that thing that is so special about this guy? Sincerity, honesty. It's not like he's got this magic wand that they've turned Burkina Faso to. No, it is what Burkina Faso could become if it's allowed, right, to indeed fulfill its potential without any interference, without any form of threats, like they are currently threatening him. An attempt on his life, 26 times attempted to kill him in 2 years, Baba. Waiting, kilo day. Yeah? It is not what Traore is doing. It is what he stands to do. It is what he stands to bring to the people of Burkina Faso, something they've been denied for more than 6 decades, over 60 years in the earliest. And I'm using their independence, by the way, over 60 years of complete chronic exploitation. And somebody came and said, no, we are putting a stop to that. We are cutting off our relationship with France. We are cutting off our relationship with all these exploiters, all these neo-colonizers. If you leave us to try it, let's even try and see how much we can use our resources to our own advantage in the next 10 years. Not 6 years, next 10 years. But they are opposed to that. No, that can't happen. We won't let that happen. Now the world knows. And the world is interested. And guess what, right? That automatically gives Ibrahim Traore a ready-made army that, you know, it's like a pool of soldiers, fighters, that is endless, is bottomless, is like limitless, where people will come from all over the world, simply because of just hearing his story, hearing his you know, is a battle and all of that. And they will automatically just say, well, you know what, let's go. So it may be more than just nuking them or sending soldiers or even killing him. Like he said, if he dies of any natural causes, people will still suspect that they killed him. So they should be very careful. That's what the rally is all about, according to the protesters. Finally, the next person that you're going to see in the news as the PDP governor to go and join Thiefnubu is going to be Rumo. Rumo. Eno. That is the Akwa Ibom State governor, the guy who attended the meeting where the PDP said they are not going to join any coalition. The guy is leaving PDP soon. And here is his explanation. No ideology, no nothing. It's just about interest.
What I try to do is to say, why can't we be peaceful? Why must political parties separate us? Why must, why must we have issues because my brother is in one party and no, we're all Akwa Ibomites first. I see party as a vehicle to get to power, and when you get there, please begin to govern, and you govern everyone, you relate with everyone. And I've asked a fundamental question. I know every day now I say something, people go to town, misinterpret it, and yesterday I made an analogy. And, and they say, oh, the man is demarketing Ibom Air. That's far from it. Ibom Air is the best airline. I'm saying that much as I love Ibom Air, it's our airline. It's a preferred airline. Much as I love it and have it as a state government, and I arrived at the airport, and Ibom Air has a technical fault, which is possible. Yeah. Which is possible. And I have an appointment in maybe Abuja or Lagos to deliver a talk or a very serious appointment with investors. And I have an alternative airline to travel. Will I say, because this is my airline, it is owned by the state government, I'm not well understood. So when people say, oh, it was demarketing Ibom Air, no, it's an analogy. Come on, people know better than this. But there are people who try to, So for me, what I'm saying is that Akwa Ibom is one. Political parties are vehicles, And then I've asked the question, and I want you to tell me, what's the political ideology in this country, this party, and the political ideology of this party? I want to know. Because we're not like the Americans. Okay. We're not like the Americans who say this is the ideology of the Democrats and this is the ideology of the Republican. As a country, tell me the ideology.
We've had people who even, most people who are in this party were in that party. So.
Everybody keeps going and coming, Whatever thing I'm doing, I'm saying that let us be one. I don't want, whether it is any party platform, we've finished the election. We are now in governance. You are sworn into office to be a governor for Akwa Ibom.
He's intentionally talking like that, or incoherently here and there. He's neither here nor there, just modeling everything together, mumbo jumbo. Is intentional. What he's trying to say is that a party doesn't matter. His party is, and in fairness, right, he is right. There is no ideology behind the political parties in Nigeria. No real ideology. It's all grouping of ambitious, self-centered means. But maybe there are some outliers that you can say, okay, maybe there is an idea behind this. A candidate's idea is the party's idea. There is nothing like, oh, our party idea, our party's ideology is this. Everybody that joins us, this is why you're joining us, and you are going to advance that sort of like ideology. No, wrong thing. Well, let's go to bed, everyone. And just for the record, okay, I have the the face of this guy. Here is the face of Thiefnubu. So I'm going to show you the face of the young man, Nan's president, after Thiefnubu kidnapped him. Okay. So, one second. That's what the guy looks like. Now, the Nan's president, Bidato, the guy that Thiefnubu kidnapped, tortured, and then recorded. On that note, I'm going to draw the curtain. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time. Enjoy the rest of your time, your evening. And then you are welcome to May. Good evening. I mean, a good night from here. Udaro.